Explain like I'm 5. If nothing is faster than light, then how can space can expand faster than light? The speed of light is about a physical object traveling. When the universe expands, nothing is actually moving around. Put a dot in the center of a rubber band. Now stretch the band. The dot is still in the middle, but the space around it has expanded. Space isn't a physical object that moves. So the rules that apply to objects, like a photon, don't apply. Nothing is faster than light refers to the motion of particles. Photons are the fastest thing that can move through a given medium. This speed limit has nothing to do with the expansion of space. To use an old metaphor, imagine an ant and a pair of snails crawling on the surface of a balloon. The ant is the fastest. Nothing is faster than ant. But if you inflate the balloon fast enough, you can get the two snails to move apart faster than the ant moves. The snails aren't violating the speed limit. They're still slower than ant despite moving apart faster than ant. Imagine you're in a car and you're backed up against another car in the opposite direction and you both speed off at the speed of light. The space between you is growing at double the speed of light. Edit to all those pointing out I'm not correct. Yes, I know it's more complicated than that, but it works for explain like I'm 5. Nothing can cross space faster than light. But space itself can come into existence without that limit because, well, it's not moving. There's just more of it between two bits of space that used to be next to each other. When we are talking about objects getting farther away from us at or beyond the speed of light, they can actually be standing still. It's just that there is suddenly more nothing between them and us, and it seems they are moving away. Simple answer: nothing is faster than light. Space is nothing. Proper answer: nothing in the fabric of spacetime is faster than light. Spacetime itself, however, is not limited by this. Imagine a bedsheet. A ball on that bedsheet can only roll at speed c. However, the bedsheet itself can move and stretch faster than speed c. Imagine you and a friend are standing back to back. Both of you walk 10 feet away from each other. There will now be 20 feet between you two, even though neither of you walked more than 10. The way I like to think about it is that the speed of light is actually a property of space. That is to say that what determines the max speed of the universe is the electromagnetic properties of spacetime: permittivity to electric fields, permeability to magnetic fields. So the idea of that space growing isn't really subject to that rule. It's just more space. Space inst expanding faster than light. Space expands actually really slowly. When things are literally 14 billions of light-year distance, it all adds up together and can end up moving things faster away from us as faster than light speed. It's really that nothing can move through space faster than c. Space can expand faster than c because it doesn't move through space. It is space. That's literally it. And it's not even really oversimplified. Edit also. Get this: even if you refuse to define speed that way, space's expansion is still not actually faster. When it expands, it carries light with it too. Light moves at whatever rate space expands at plus c. If you have two objects moving away from each other at the speed of light, the space between the two is expanding at twice the speed of light. One thing you have to remember is nothing is faster than light that we currently know about. Science and our tools of observation is always progressing. Just because we don't know of anything faster than light today, doesn't mean that there is nothing that is faster. Here's another example. Let's assume every point of space is expanding at the same rate. We'll call that rate ABCD. Point B moved the same distance from C as C moved from D. But point D moved away from point A 3 times further than point B moved from A. And it did it over the same length of time. Two things moving in opposite directions at the speed both moving at the speed of light, will be moving away from each other at 2x the speed of light. Nothing can move faster than the speed of light. Space is nothingness. Everything else is something. When somethings are moving in every direction at the speed of light, the nothing in between them grows. The nothingness in between the somethings can expand faster than light because nothing is actually there to break the light speed rule. You said the answer in your question. Nothing is faster than light. And space is nothing. Difficult concept. But in the expansion of space, nothing is moving. It's all about frame of reference and relativity. The odd part about the speed of light is it's constant and irrelevant to your frame of reference. And as far as I know, the only thing that works that way. The light speed rule is about objects moving through space. The space itself isn't hampered by this rule because it's likely moving through a vacuum or some other phenomenon outside of spacetime. There are a lot of answers here saying that the speed of light is a speed limit for particles. A more useful but more difficult description is the speed limit of the propagation of information. For example, if you look at a distant star, you are looking at the information from that star system. From the past, specifically from the number of years ago that it takes for light to travel to you. This also allows you to consider time as being the process of the propagation of information, as well as seeing it as a dimension. Because space is nothing. No, really. Space isn't an object, and it can't actually move, so it's not bound by the same speed limit as light and matter. Instead, every piece of space is staying where it is. It's simply becoming larger in place. Nothing can travel faster through space. Space expanding isn't something traveling faster through space. The speed of light is the maximum speed that you can travel through space. But space itself is not traveling through space. It is just growing at some rate that just happens to be greater than the speed things are moving through it, kind of like a road that has a speed limit of 60 miles per hour. But the road is being built at 70 miles per hour. The road itself doesn't exceed the speed limit applicable to cars traveling on the road. The light velocity limits things' energy and things' objects moving around in universe. The universe itself is not included in neither of these two groups. Imagine standing back to back with a gibbon. You run away in a straight line at the speed of light, and the gibbon does the same. As you each run away from each other, the space between you increases at twice the speed of light. But nothing is moving faster than light. It could also work with a gibbon and a crab, or even two crabs. I am not a veterinarian, so this might be completely wrong. If two trains move apart from each other, and each has a max speed of 30 miles an hour, they move apart at 60 miles an hour, twice the speed. Even though the trains are moving the same max speed, the universe does the same thing. Everything moves away from everything, so it moves faster than would be expected. Because expansion is in all directions, so expansion happens at twice the speed of any one edge. So if each edge is traveling at the speed of light in opposite directions, then the expansion happens at twice the speed of light. There's good evidence that at some point in the past, objects did travel faster than light and the universe expanded that much faster. It's called cosmic expansion, and very little is understood about it, including whether or not it still occurs in places in the universe. For centuries, we thought Newton described the universe completely. Then Einstein and Heisenberg showed that there were corners that still needed poking out. We'd be fools to think that wasn't still true.